Come on, Rooster! No holds barred, Ruth.
Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Good afternoon, Rupert.
For those who don't know me, my name is Rupert, and for those who do, well, I apologise. Now, when researching how long a best man's speech should last, I was told it should only be as long as it takes the groom to make love. So thank you and good night.
I disagree. 10 hours,
So I'm slightly bothered about the title of being the best man. As if that was the case, why is Philippa marrying Michael and not me? However, when Michael asked me to be his best man, I had no hesitation in accepting. We've been through a lot together, and thankfully none of them are here today.
filming this.
I am very proud to be chosen as Michael's best man, and as most of you know, I am a bit of a geek. So I decided the easiest way to put together a speech would be to download one off the internet. But after 2 hours of hard surfing, my girlfriend caught me, called me a pervert, and I am told the best speech makers follow 3 simple rules. Get up, speak up, and shut up. Very good. So I'll try to stick to that advice. Now in tradition, I'm supposed to sing the groom's praises and tell you about his many good points, but I can't sing and I really won't lie. It's also traditional to wax lyrical about the number of ex-girlfriends that the groom has had. But I do not want to get into all of that, because frankly, I find so macho male posturing both vulgar and offensive to the bride. But suffice to say, Michael, number 76.
Darling?
It's all for the effect, babe.
I'd like to thank the bridesmaids, Ashley and Emily, for doing their duty so very well today. Especially in getting their mum to the ceremony. I believe she put up quite a fight, but they did get her in there. And I'm sure you'll agree they look lovely.
Yeah.
I think you'll also agree that Philippa looks like 1 in a million.
Absolutely.
Michael, on the other hand, looks like he was 1 in a raffle. Michael, Philippa is a lovely person and deserves a good husband, but thank God you married her before she got I'd like to thank Penny and Stuart, Philippa's mum and dad, for bringing us Philippa to make my friend so very, very happy. It couldn't have been easy seeing your only daughter marry someone like Michael. In fact, during the ceremony today, I couldn't help thinking, it's funny how history repeats itself. I mean, 38 years ago, Penny and Stuart were sending their daughter to bed with a dummy, and it's happening all over again. Now I'm going to try and not embarrass Michael too much. We all know he is quite capable of doing that himself. What can I tell you about Michael? I've known him for over 10 years. He's handsome, intelligent, witty, charismatic, and... Sorry mate, I can't read your writing. In fact, last night we were having a couple of drinks, and I asked Michael about what he wanted from his marriage. And he said, well, I want to be a model husband. I want to be a model citizen. And he added with his usual cheeky grin that he also wanted to be a model lover.
Oh.
Being the naive chap, I looked up model in the dictionary and found it to be a small miniature replica of the... How appropriate. Michael was born on the 26th of February, 1971. He was about the size of a small baby. I did try to link this date to some major world event, but apparently nothing of any real note happened. Now, I don't know whether this is a coincidence or not, but 2 weeks after he was born, family planning was made available free on the internet. He had a happy childhood, and he used to spend hours digging in the garden with his bucket and spade, and a little blue and yellow wheelbarrow.
You've been talking to my dad, haven't you?
Oh, yeah. Until one day, after a busy afternoon digging, his mother took him to pick up his grandma. And on the way home, he suddenly began to scream at the top of his voice. He was hysterical, screaming and writhing like a demented creature. He couldn't tell anyone what was wrong, but then his mum saw an ant. She took off all his clothes, and he had ants all over, even inside his nappy. So Philippa, don't expect Michael to be doing too much gardening.
I hate ants.
In his early days, Michael was a gorgeous toddler. His mother's words, I might add. With long, fair, curly hair and big blue eyes. However, he was mistaken as a girl, so the hair had to go, but his mother told me he's always been a poser. Even when he was kicked in the face by a horse he was following, he's still convinced he had the face of a model. He's always liked animals, especially dogs, but many people don't know he has a real fear of monkeys.
I hate monkeys.
This came from being at the zoo once when he was quite young, and a monkey grabbed hold of him, stole his ice cream, and he's never quite forgotten it. He went to Sunday school, and at age 6 or 7, he was chosen to be Joseph in the Nativity play. He came on the stage wearing his checkered tea towel headdress with his Mary in her blue dress. He delivered his lines confidently, negotiating with the innkeeper and getting Mary into the stable. He was very impressive, and everyone was very proud of him. But after the scene had ended, he just got up, walked off, and straight away leaving Mary struggling to carry off the crib, baby Jesus, and a stuffed toy lamb all on his own. So Philippa, this is what you're letting your children. He remained a bit of a thespian. At secondary school, he was in many shows, appearing in scenes from Grease and West Side Story, singing and dancing, and also acting in other sketches. He and his mates were the stars of the shows, and they acquired something of a fan club amongst the girls. They were also known for singing and doing the steps to baggy trousers whenever they felt like it, which I'm sure he could still show us today. He's always been a bit of a rebel, though. When he was in his sixth form, he had his ears pierced, against the rules. He wore jeans, against the rules. He was even told off for parking his dad's Jag in the deputy headmaster's parking lot. As we all might know, Michael is a petrolhead and loves and is very proud of his driving skills. But there were some occasions he wasn't quite so proud of.
You've been talking to me, Dad, haven't you?
Oh, yeah. When he was 17, he just passed his test. His dad lent him his car, a nice, fairly new Toyota. And then on his way home, he drove straight into the back of a stationary Volvo, writing off the Toyota and claiming to his dad, it was the Volvo's fault, he stopped too quickly.
He did.
So Michael needed to buy his own car. He worked hard through the summer at Boots, and he and a friend went to a local car auction to look for a car. They bought a Ford Escort Mark II, and proudly brought it home to show his dad. His dad, being the concerned parent, wanted to make sure it was okay to drive. So he tried to look at the car. The bonnet wouldn't open. There was no oil whatsoever in the engine. The gearbox was knackered and the tyres were bald. But all Michael said was, yes, but the electric mirrors work. Michael's a great friend, and he does help me to appreciate life. In fact, I remember one time, on the way back from the Ace Cafe in his TVR, a car had, I quote, egged him on by overtaking him, so he gave chase. So there I was, sitting in what can only be described as a plastic bowl with wheels, going way too fast when a car pulled out on him, leaving nowhere to go. When we finally pulled over, I got out, kissed the ground I was standing on, and thanking God I was still alive. And he just said, yes, it was a little close, wasn't it? It was a moment. It was a moment. He and I lived together.
Share the place. Share the place.
I say lived together. He asked if he could stay a couple of nights and then I couldn't get him out. But I agreed as he had a nice car and I thought I'd be able to drive it. What in fact happened is that I had 4 of his cars sitting on my driveway, none of which ever worked.
Familiar.
These cars did seem to get sold periodically, but they were replaced by others that still didn't. While we were still living together, he came home one day with a bright red Jaguar XJS Special Edition that he was test driving, telling me how rare it is and what a bargain it was, especially as it was in such great condition. But I skillfully and carefully talked him out of it, pointing out he'd never move out if he didn't save any money. After several hours of pondering and me hounding him, he agreed it would be better to let it go and he would take it back. However, while getting it out the driveway, he reversed into my fully mature, 100-foot oak tree, telling me it wasn't there before, and thereby caving in the bumper and having to buy it. So needless to say, I had car number 5 on the drive.
Nice girl.
Bearing in mind Michael now has a fleet of cars so big it would put Avis to shame, it should have been a bit of a surprise that earlier in the week, when I asked him how we were getting to the ceremony, he answered, we'd have to borrow a car. But it wasn't. However, then he met Philippa on the internet. Now sometimes you just get that feeling that you've got 2 people destined to get along with each other. And I can still remember the night Michael told me about Philippa. He said, guess what? I've met someone. That's a good start, I thought. Her name is Philippa, and I'm very excited about her. I am paraphrasing, his actual words were, gotta go, she's well fit, don't expect me to. Naturally, as a friend of his, I was intrigued, wouldn't you be? What's she like? How will she cope with this man? And are they well suited? Imagine my relief when I found out Philippa was an expert in animal behaviour and worked with I knew they were destined to be together and I could finally get my driveway back. That was over 2 years ago and Michael has since matured. He stopped biting his toenails and while he still does a number 2 with the door open, he does use air freshener. So there is progress. And here we are today to celebrate their marriage. It just leaves me now, as is customary, before the toast to offer bride and groom a few words of worldly advice. Philippa, a man is like a tiled floor. Lay it right the first time and you can spend years walking all over it. Michael, the key to a successful and happy marriage appears to be in understanding women and how they communicate. I've always found this a good guide. If the word nothing is uttered, this actually means something, and you really should be on your toes. The statement, go ahead, seemingly means that at some point in the future, you're going to be in mighty big trouble. The word fine is the word women use to end an argument when they feel they are right and you need to shut up. But never use the word fine to describe how a woman looks. This will cause you to have one of those arguments. So Michael, if you hear these 3 words, nothing, go ahead and fine, within a couple of minutes of each other, remember, you yourself have these words to fall back on. Yes, dear, buy it. So finally, I would just like to say we wish you both nothing but the very best for the future. You are a unique and perfectly matched couple, and I hope that all your dreams come true, and that you may have a long and happy life together. Ladies and gentlemen, please be upstanding and charge your glasses to join me in a toast to Philippa and Michael, the bride and the groom.
Philippa.
Thank you.
Brilliant. Oh, God.